The future of remote work is evolving at rapid speed, and just like any technological advancement, we must pay attention. In this video, I'm going to share how future of remote work will evolve and why you should pay attention. So stick around to find out how you can capitalize on the opportunity. And if you're not interested in remote work, still stick around, because whether or not you have a remote job, eventually you may end up having one. So you want to be in the best position to not only negotiate your salary and your hours, but also to be happy doing what you love. So let's get started. The hybrid work model is going to stay. We see that in government jobs where you have 2 days in the office and 3 days off, or 3 days in the office, 2 days off. It's a hybrid model where you spend some of your time in the office and some of your time at home. Now, there's benefits to that. You can save money on gas, save your time in traffic, and more importantly, you can balance your work life this way, because if you want to get out of the house, you can go to the office, and if you want to get out of the office, you can come home. And this is great because if you hate your job and you love being home, vice versa, love your job and hate being home, you have the flexibility. And this is kind of creating that win-win situation where you could balance your life better. I want to also mention companies like Microsoft and Google are investing in technologies and policies to support these hybrid work environments. What we also need to actually focus on is having those tools that have a friendly user UI design that anybody can learn, because not everybody's digitally literate. Part of the challenges of hybrid models is that if you are in sectors that is not digitized, let's say a lot of local government, civic government positions where they're still using fax machines, and it becomes a challenge to adapt to these hybrid models. But what's cool is that these tech companies are setting a standard and you'll be able to learn from them. So this is really cool. The next is increased focus on work-life balance. As I've mentioned, mental health is severely impacted if you go to a place of work that you absolutely hate. And the same goes for if you are in a home environment that you don't enjoy. Mental health issues can be a challenge. We spend 80% of our life working. So with hybrid work options, it's absolutely amazing to have this opportunity for balance. Next, I want to talk about technological advancements that will enhance the collaboration. And I've mentioned that Microsoft and Google are investing in that. And the biggest investment is VR and AR, which is virtual reality, augmented reality, which could stimulate in-person meetings. None of us like these 2-hour-long meetings over Zoom. They're not interactive, first of all, for the team dynamics, but even visually, it's not interactive. So you'll see a little bit more gamification in these virtual meetings and virtual collaboration. And that's going to be super exciting for project management, communication, and task automation to streamline the remote workflows. Now, Google has created Google Notebook LM that gives you the opportunity to create different presentations and tools that you can easily create using AI, whether they're PowerPoints or Excel spreadsheets. So that's going to be super exciting. I haven't tested it yet, but it will definitely be interesting. Think about the next one is global talent pool. We will increasingly become globalized in our talent. We will recruit from different countries. Some companies already have a hiring freeze for US citizens, like certain banks. JP Morgan Chase had that for a while. The big accounting firms had a hiring freeze for about a year. They were not hiring US citizens. They were going abroad. Of course, comes up with its own challenges, like it's going to be hard to negotiate salaries, because when you recruit from abroad as a company, you have more leverage, and so that's going to definitely change. The next one is challenges in cybersecurity. Of course, working remotely, we have to create better mechanisms to protect data. And that may be challenging, specifically protecting your personal data. In Europe, we have GDPR guidelines that protects personal data. We don't have these in the United States that are as effective. So that's going to be definitely challenging, is how do we work around these rules or remain compliant or kind of go beyond the structures and systems that we have. I've mentioned sustainability and reduced commutes. If you live in New York City, you're spending hours in traffic. And think about it, if it's 2 hours a day, that's basically basically 10 hours a week in traffic. That's a full working day. And it's super stressful to drive, and working from anywhere is absolutely great when you could reduce your carbon footprint and also the time you spend in the car because you're idle. You can't really do anything. The next I want to talk about is the employee benefits will shift from just providing medical and maybe a couple of perks to the local gym. It's going to shift into providing more mental health services. It will shift into providing other perks that are associated with working from home. I'm looking for companies to maybe supplement the phone bill, electricity bill, because you're now having a home office. If you work for yourself, you can write off a lot of that on your business. So that's kind of cool. And then of course there's the legal and regulatory challenges. I'm looking forward for the government to introduce new labor laws to accommodate the shift in remote work. And so we're going to see a lot more of that. And it's also insurance too. How does that look like? Work comp and work insurance on the job if you get hurt. How is that going to look like if you get hurt in your own house? I'm hoping that it benefits employees. Future of remote work as dynamic. It will include a lot of opportunities. What will continue is the increase in isolation and also emphasis on mental health, because one of the challenges of working remotely is if you don't have your family, you are isolated. So we will have challenges in communication, which is why you coming to this channel is awesome, because I teach communication skills. You may want to check out this playlist. Thanks for always sticking around and leaving the comments. If you found this video useful, please leave a comment because I take that into account. In the next video, we're going to talk about taking a career break and something called career break shame, where you actually get shamed for taking a career break. And I'm going to talk about how to address it, and more importantly, how to not feel bad if you take a gap year or a year off and even longer. I've done it, and I'll let you know how I explained that to the recruiters and my clients who were asking about it, and even my family. So you may want to stick around to get those tidbits on how to feel good and not shamed for taking a career break. As always, do the best that you can every day.